I've said a lot of things about a lot of guns, including the Shield, but sometimes you just gotta eat crow. Let's get to work. Hey guys, Work here. Welcome back to Work the Trigger. Now, I have talked a lot of crap about a lot of guns, and one of the ones that I like talking the most crap about is the Smith & Wesson Shield. Now, in this particular case, it's been the 1.0 version, and I never got the 2.0 version because honestly, in my book, it didn't offer that much more over the 1.0, and it really wasn't a good competition in the marketplace for what the marketplace had come to. The Shield, when it first came out, opened up a new market for the slim Micro 9 guns. But in the time since it first came out, that marketplace had changed, and even though, yes, my major gripe about the trigger had been fixed with the 2.0 standard, it wasn't until the Shield Plus came out that they really made it a good contender again. And that's what we have here today. So the Shield Plus opens up a new market for the Shield in giving the Shield a 10+1 capacity with the flush fit mag and up to a 13+1 capacity with their extended magazine. All in that thin form factor gun that is about the thickness of a Glock 48 with less muzzle length and about the same grip length. And all of that while maintaining external controls, which is choice. All the problems that I had with the original Shield have been more or less alleviated by the Shield Plus. Better sights, optics cuts, with an improved trigger in the 2.0 system that is just drastically better than the original M&P trigger. We don't have that problem anymore. The grip texturing is significantly better, although still maintaining the same look. The feel is just so much better. It feels more like a higher quality gun, and that is not just in holding it. It feels that way when you're shooting it too. All of that, no grip adjustment, nothing. It just stays planted, and the trigger doesn't hinder your performance. So that original Shield was extremely good in concept, in what it was in opening up that market. The Shield Plus, on the other hand, is a good culmination to that market. Now, it is bigger in size than something like a SIG 365. Just overall footprint is larger. It's more about the size of like the SIG XL. It's also very similar in size to a Glock 48, has the same round count. But how does it shoot to a 48? How does it shoot compared to the original? So the improvement to the ergonomics of the Shield Plus are not just in that grip texture. Because they are now running a semi-double stack magazine, it actually makes the grip wider, which was always one of my primary complaints with the original Shield. The grip was just too thin for what it was doing. 9mm, even though it's not like a high recoiling round, is not overly comfortable to shoot if it's in the wrong frame size. This gives it the right frame size. It gives you a little bit more meat here on the back and front straps to be able to wrap around and really control the gun versus just kind of being along for the ride. And with the relatively good sights that Smith & Wesson's put on here, doing quick follow-up shots with this is not a problem at all. And it would be even better with the addition of the ability to put an optic on it. Now, I keep bringing up the Glock 48 because the Glock 48 is a relatively similar size to the Shield Plus. It is longer, you get a little bit more barrel length out of it, the grip size is even bigger, and this only has 10 rounds, but I really wanted to get this out here to see how well the 48 would shoot up against the Shield Plus, because I guarantee that when somebody's going out to look at firearms and they don't have a bias of a particular brand, these two are very likely to come up in the conversation. So let's go ahead and shoot a little bit through both to see what the differences in actual firing profiles are. First up, we've got the Glock 48 because I want to end with the Shield Plus. So the 48, let's go ahead and take 10 rounds through it. Okay, so the 48 is a relatively good recoiling gun. A little bit snappy, expected for its size, and on it you do have a grip that's about the same width as the Shield Plus. Now I will say the sights on the 48, not quite as good as the Shield Plus, and the size of the beaver tail and the way it kind of tips down does put a little bit of pressure back here on the web of your hand. Let's go ahead and swap over to the Shield Plus now and see how it does. So now with the Shield Plus, let's go ahead and run 10 rounds through it as well. Okay. The recoil impulse of this is actually better than the Glock. It's more linear. You get a little bit more comfort out of the back strap. The grip size is about the same, but I will say the grip texture on the Smith & Wesson here is significantly better than the Glock. Glocks have never really been known for having great grip texturing other than the RTF2 grip texturing of the Gen 3s, but for some reason they don't continue that going and we don't get to enjoy that regularly. But the recoil impulse on the Shield is actually a little bit better than that Glock. Now we do have a shorter barrel, which is going to lead to reduced muzzle velocity in the Shield here. Probably looking at anywhere from 20 to 50 feet per second. But I am also curious about accuracy. So now let's reload them both and do a quick accuracy test at 7 yards here to see just about how accurate each one is. Then we'll round out on the other side and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so let's start with the Glock first. We're going to do 5 rounds. Now I'm just gonna do 5 rounds aimed at the upper right-hand corner of our A box. Okay, had to move back and square up a little bit. I ended up doing it at 5 yards because I don't feel like moving back further. But at 5 yards, it is hitting a little bit low with the Glock there. So let's go ahead and try the Smith & Wesson now. I'm doing the flush mag in the Smith just to kind of even it out between the 10 rounds of the two, not to give myself any advantage with like a longer grip here. Let's go ahead and do 5 rounds through the Shield Plus. All right, let's go take a look at those two groups. So you can bust me for my shooting all you want. Honestly, I don't get out shooting much anymore, but here we've got our Glock group looking at about 1.5 inches, which is indeed tighter than the Smith group, looking at about 2.5 inches with the Smith group. The Smith group, however, was a little bit more accurate for me with actually being able to hit the spot versus the Glock group that was coming in a little bit low. Again, we're at 5 yards, so press that out to 10, 20 yards. The Glock group is going to end up coming up, but it does look like the Smith opens up those groups a little bit. That might be me, that might be the barrel length. Again, I'm shooting freehand here, but honestly, I'm happy with either one of those. So what do I think about the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus? In the 2.0 configuration, the M&P line has really come of its own. It took what was kind of a middle stepping stone into polymer guns. Obviously, you have like the old SDs out there and stuff that Smith had done before the M&P line, but the M&P is the first one that got taken like real serious mainstream. And the 2.0 version is that next iteration that you would expect. And honestly, it was a bigger improvement to me than going from like the Gen 3 to the Gen 4 Glock. This would be like jumping straight from a Gen 3 Glock up to a Gen 5 Glock. And I am glad that they did it because this has opened me back up to M&P. Being willing to accept owning a Shield again. Because as many problems as I had had with the original one, the Shield Plus, I'm just not getting those problems with. It's just a better gun. So thanks guys for watching our little take on the little Smith & Wesson, the M&P Shield Plus. What I think is a solid evolution in Smith & Wesson's M&P Shield lineup. This is the short-barreled version. I'd love to be able to get one of the long-barreled versions to see how it does. I think it would shoot even smoother, as typically you would find when adding barrel length and a little bit of that slide mass in there, as long as that slide mass is balanced. So do me a favor, guys. Let me know how you like this video. If you've got a Shield Plus and you have an opinion about it, do me a favor, write that down in the comments down below. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. If you like the channel and you want to help out a little bit, don't worry about becoming a channel member. Don't worry about Patreon and all that stuff. Instead, head over to variantinnovation.com. Over there, we've got 3D printed gun accessories specifically made for your gun, so you can use it how you want to. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you, and until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.